You take the blue pill. The story ends. You leave now and keep paying taxes like everyone else. You take the red pill. You stay and watch here. And I show you how to pay zero taxes on your savings and investments.
Do you enjoy paying taxes? What if I told you there was a way to save money 100% tax-free? If you're just starting your financial journey or just looking to learn, this video could change your future. Today, I'm unveiling one of the best savings accounts available. And parents, stay tuned, there's something for you too. I'm going to cover the key points and some personal tips, so stick around because this is your beginner's guide to the Roth IRA. Hey everyone, this is AJ, your ace in the hole, and welcome to the channel where we super simplify personal finance and provide tips for young adults and others just starting out. So, to kick things off, what is a Roth IRA? The Roth IRA, named for Senator William Roth, was introduced as part of the Taxpayer Relief Act of 1997. A Roth IRA is a special individual retirement account where you contribute after-tax money to save and invest. The magic is that the money grows and is withdrawn completely tax-free. For young adults, it's one of the most powerful wealth-building tools available, and one that you should start as early as possible. I know you're probably thinking, why in the world are we talking about retirement for someone so young? Great question. And now we're going to talk about exactly why. Depending on your age, retirement may indeed be decades away, but that's exactly why you need to start now. The earlier you start, the less you need to invest, as a few bucks a week now can grow to six figures later. Plus, when you're young, you're likely in a lower tax bracket than you will be later in life, which is the perfect time to contribute to a Roth IRA. To put this into perspective, here's a true story that shows the sheer power of a Roth IRA and what tax-free investing looks like on a grand scale. Peter Thiel, co-founder of the company PayPal, invested $1,700 in PayPal stock at the start of the company in 1999. But what Peter did differently than most is he made this investment within his Roth IRA. This investment grew to over $5 billion by 2019, given the explosive growth of PayPal during that time. The best part, when Peter withdraws this money in retirement, it will be tax-free, saving him an estimated $1.8 billion in taxes. Now, this is an extreme scenario, but it does show the magnitude of the Roth IRA at work. Now let's look at an example that you might actually realize. If you were to save just $100 per month from age 20 to 67, the current full retirement age, and assuming 10% annual growth, which is the average annual stock market return over the last 20 years, you would have over $1.2 million by age 67. Now, when you're ready to start withdrawing your money, it could cost you between $184,000 to $245,000 in capital gains taxes. However, with the Roth IRA, you pay zero. Any ideas what you might do with an extra $200,000? Pretty amazing, right? Now, let's look at how this works. For starters, there are some basic rules regarding a Roth IRA. First, there are annual contribution limits. In 2025, you can contribute up to $7,000 per year or up to whatever you've earned for that year if it's less. For example, let's say you work your first part-time job this year making $3,000. In this case, you can only contribute up to $3,000. Stay tuned for how parents can jumpstart a Roth IRA for their kids even sooner. But let's wrap up with the contributions. Now, you might not be there yet, but if you're over age 50, you are allowed an extra $1,000 catch-up contribution in 2025. Catch-up contributions are common with retirement accounts, so you'll hear about these again at some point. Now, there are income limitations with the Roth IRA. If you make too much money, you may not be able to contribute, or at least not up to the full limit. This may not impact you now, but something you should be aware of. The 2025 individual annual income phase-out and cutoff for Roth IRAs is between $150,000 and $165,000, and much higher if you're married. So if you're not there yet, no worries. Now, let's move along to setting up your Roth IRA. You start off by opening a Roth IRA through a brokerage firm such as Fidelity, Schwab, or Vanguard. This is done online, just like setting up a basic checking account. You fund the account with earned income from a full or part-time job, which can be done easily through online transfers. You then choose how to invest that money. And this is important. Once you move the money into your Roth, you then choose how you want to invest your money. While uninvested money might grow at a modest rate, like a basic savings account, you eventually should place that money into investments that earn a higher rate of return, which again will be earning tax-free. Now let's talk about investing options. A Roth IRA acts as a container that holds your cash contributions and any investments that you choose. You can select from numerous types of investments, such as mutual or index funds like the S&P 500, ETFs or exchange-traded funds, which are like groups of stocks, individual company stocks such as Tesla or Apple, REITs, which are real estate investment trusts, and even bonds, treasuries, and CDs. In future videos, we'll dive deeper into investment options to help you choose, so be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss those. But if you're new, a low-cost S&P 500 index fund is a solid hands-off choice to get things started, but you should always do your research and seek financial advice before choosing investments. Now parents, listen up. You can get things started even sooner by opening a custodial Roth IRA or a Roth for minors for children under 18. These accounts can be opened on their behalf at any age as long as the child has earned income, whether it's from babysitting, lifeguard duty, dog walking, you name it. Even if they didn't receive a W-2 form, just keep a log of their income to validate any contributions if needed. And remember, contributions are limited to their earned income for that year, if less than the Roth IRA limits. Finally, once the child reaches 18, the account can be rolled into a regular Roth IRA where they can assume control as a young adult. Now let's talk about withdrawals. Roth IRAs are pretty flexible. To withdraw your earnings tax and penalty free, you have to be at least age 59 and a half, and the account must be at least 5 years old. However, you can withdraw your contributions, not the earnings, anytime tax and penalty free. Now, before I move on, we need to chat for a second. And remember this phrase, just because you can doesn't mean you should. I highly encourage you to never withdraw money from your Roth IRA prematurely. You can never replace that money, and you'll be costing yourself potentially tens of thousands in tax-free earnings that you can't recoup. I cannot stress this enough. So if you need money, find another way. Okay, off my soapbox now. Let's continue. Early withdrawals of earnings will also trigger a 10% penalty on top of any income taxes, as these early withdrawals are not tax-free. There are a few exceptions, such as a first-time home purchase, college costs, or medical emergencies, but you should always have separate savings in place for these type of expenses, as there are other types of accounts far better suited for these situations, not your Roth. Another tremendous advantage is that a Roth IRA, unlike most other retirement accounts, is not subject to RMDs or required minimum distributions, which are mandatory minimum amounts that must be withdrawn from retirement accounts each year, whether you need it or not, including the taxes. With a Roth IRA, this doesn't apply. Now, let's touch on a few Roth IRA tips I learned along the way. First, again, be sure to invest. I've spoken with many who contributed to their Roth IRA and thought they were done, only to learn that their money was sitting in cash form for years, earning a basic savings rate. That said, be sure to get your contributions invested. Do some research and choose some solid long-term investments. There's no need for this to be a burden, just set it and forget it. And no day trading in your Roth. Next, do everything you can to max your Roth contributions each year, especially early on. Now, I know, realistically, this might be a challenge at first since you simply might not make enough to contribute to the max, but contribute something. Remember, the earlier you start, the better, no matter how little, and this will grow tax-free over your entire life. Now, once you start earning more, prioritize maxing your Roth and then move to other investment options if you have any excess. One tip is to set up monthly auto transfers from your checking account into your Roth IRA, for example, 10% of every paycheck. A super hack is to also set up monthly auto-invest transactions as well, which will in turn automatically purchase an investment of your choice. This puts the entire process on autopilot so you don't forget. Finally, and I'll say it again, do not early withdraw. Find another way. If you come on hard times, reduce your contribution for a brief period to boost your take-home pay, but never withdraw from your Roth ahead of schedule. Your older self will appreciate this. Now here are a couple of advanced strategies that you may not need yet but are good to file away for later years. The first is Roth conversions, not to be confused with contributions, which has been the topic so far. Roth conversions are where you take money from other tax-deferred accounts, such as a traditional IRA or 401k, and roll it over into your Roth IRA. There are no limitations to how much you can convert, but you do pay taxes on the money at that time. Many do Roth conversions to shift pre-tax retirement money into their Roth for the tax-free growth. This is a technique for managing future taxes. We'll talk more about this in future videos, as this can get complex, requiring a hefty tax analysis before doing so. Also, Roth IRAs are great for estate planning, as your heirs can inherit them tax-free as well. Many use a Roth as their last account to help heirs avoid inheritance tax. The Roth IRA is actually one of my biggest personal regrets, and by that, I mean by not starting earlier. As a young worker, like many, I was simply uninformed of the benefits, so I didn't know what I didn't know. I eventually opened a Roth IRA and have been playing catch-up ever since. But that's why I'm here today, to help you not make that same mistake. Start early while your taxable income is low. Later in life, you might choose to add a traditional IRA, which provides other tax advantages for higher income earners. We'll be discussing this in future videos as well, so be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out. And if you want help funding your Roth IRA, check out our video here on how to save $10,000 by age 25. That said, I really hope you found this video helpful, and I hope to see you again in the next one. This is AJ, your ace in the hole. See ya!